DirectAccess is an IP6 based remote access solution. It's not widely adopted and it's unlikely you'll get many questions on the exam, but it's important that you know what it is and the fundamentals of how it works. As you can see from the diagram, it facilitates a connection for an external client through the internet to internal or intranet resources. There are a few differences between how DirectAccess works and how VPNs work, so let's just run through a bit about that. DirectAccess connections enable you to connect your Windows 10 devices directly to your organization's workplace without needing a VPN. Connections established with DirectAccess aren't initiated by the user, they're automatic. You can't initiate the configuration of DirectAccess only on a client computer. Instead, you configure server-side components. As a result of the server-side configuration, group policies are created which configure client computer behavior. So we use group policies to deploy the client-side settings. Only Windows 10 Enterprise and Windows 10 Education support DirectAccess connections. Another important thing to note is that DirectAccess uses IP6 and IPsec. So it's based on an IP6 network. Now most organizations still use IP4, so there must be an ability to tunnel through an IP4 network to get your IP6 packets through. One of the things that DirectAccess does is it uses intrasite automatic tunnel addressing protocol, or ISATAP, 6-4, Teredo, or IP HTTPS as tunneling protocols for situations where you're in a non-native IP6 network. The following components exist on this slide and are used in a DirectAccess solution. The DirectAccess server. This is any server computer which is a member of an Active Directory domain running Windows Server 2012 or later. The server establishes communications to the intranet for remote clients. A DirectAccess client is any domain-joined computer running Windows 10 Enterprise or Windows 10 Education. It can also be running Windows 8.1 or Windows 8 or even Windows 7, depending on your configuration. The network location server. Clients use the network location server to determine where they are. So in other words, are they in the intranet or are they on the internet? The internal resources are the server-based resources users want to connect to. So for example, file servers and web servers and so forth. You'll also require Active Directory and possibly a certificate server, and you'll also need a DNS server. To facilitate a connection, DirectAccess uses IP6 tunneling, ISATAP, 6-4, Teredo, and IP HTTPS. As I mentioned before, to implement DirectAccess clients, you really haven't got to do anything. Once the server is set up, it's pretty straightforward. Group policies are created and these are deployed out to the client using standard group policy application. You can verify that settings are applied correctly by using standard group policy monitoring and troubleshooting techniques. To troubleshoot DirectAccess on a client, use the following procedure. First of all, verify that the DirectAccess GPOs are applied. You do this by using the GP result tool out at the client. Verify connectivity to the DirectAccess server by verifying IP6 settings and then using the DirectAccess tab, which you can find in the Network and Internet Settings app.